Friends, it's Terri Gaines, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. In this video tutorial, I'm going to share a simple fun fold card created with the lovely and beautiful specialty designer series paper. This paper is absolutely beautiful. You get 2 each of the 6 double-sided 12 by 12 designs. Hopefully you can see in the video the beautiful gold foil on the paper. I'm going to be using a portion of this print. I already have it cut to size, and I'm going to be using Old Olive as the coordinating cardstock color. So this is the front side of this design. This is the back side. This is the second design. Look at that beautiful print with the gold embellishments. This is the back side. This is the third design. Look at that beautiful design. And this is the back side. This is the fourth print in the packet or design, and this is the back side. Beautiful backgrounds on the back side. And then this is the fifth design. This is just gold right on the white, so you can color these images in if you choose. And this is the beautiful back side. And then the sixth design is this print, and this is the back side. Really super pretty. As I mentioned, I have it cut to size already. So I have cut my cardstock to size already. So let me share that before I move on to the next step. I'm using the Old Olive. I've cut that to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it's a postcard size, a fourth of the 8 1/2 by 11. The basic white is 9 1/4 by 4, and I scored it at 5 1/4, so it's going to open like this. So the simple fun fold is just part of this panel is removed. Then the gold foil that's going to be accenting this is 4 by 4, and I have a note on my measurements that I'm going to remove the center to maximize the gold foil. The reason I'm going to be doing that, the designer series paper is cut to be 3 by 7/8 by 3 by 7/8. It is going to be layered, or this gold foil sandwich is going to be sandwiched between the basic white cardstock and the designer series paper. So the whole center is going to be unusable or hidden. So I'm going to cut that out so I can reuse that section for another project. Anytime I have specialty paper, I like to maximize it. So I'm going to take my paper trimmer. I'm going to put this square, this 4-inch square over at 1/2 inch on the right side. Then I'm going to look at this ruler and have the blade, center of the blade start at 1/2 inch. Put that down. I'm going to cut up to 3 1/2. Just watch that ruler right here. Then I'm going to open it, rotate it, put this at 1/2 inch. This is still at 3 1/2. I'm going to put that down, cut down to 1/2, lift it, rotate it again, put that 1/2 inch. This is already at 1/2 inch. Move it up to 3 1/2. And then I can do it one last time. Put that at 1/2 inch. Put that down, move that down to 1/2 inch. And now I cut out a 3 by 3 section here. I can put this back with my gold foil sheet and then have that, and I can still cut some images out of there or use it as the 3 by 3 square. Now, nobody but you and I are going to know that I have removed that and maximized that specialty paper. So that is how I do that. Now, if you had a die and wanted to cut out a die image for a project, you could have done that. I didn't have anything in the plan, so I just took it out so I could use it later. Now, and then I have ribbon. The ribbon I'm going to use, did I tell you about this ribbon already? I don't think I did. So the ribbon is the gold stripe meshed ribbon. It is absolutely beautiful. So you've got the gold design, and it has been unavailable for several weeks. It's back available. Absolutely love this because of the gold coordinates so beautifully with the gold foil. I've cut about 13 inches of this project already. So what I'm going to start out is by stamping, and I'm going to stamp the happy birthday from the Fabulous Saying stamp set across the bottom. Now this stamp set is Stampin' Up's January product of the month. Stampin' Up! Has the Product of the Month program, which if you place an online order and spend $75 or more, you can buy the product of the month for $5. This is January's product of the month, and they still have supplies available, so you could still purchase this stamp set. You get 11 sentiments in this stamp set. We also have the February Designer Series paper and the December Designer Series paper for product of the month still available. So I'm going to use the Happy Birthday. I already have that on a block, and I'm going to stamp it and emboss it right down here on the bottom section. So I'm going to bring in my silicone craft mat to stamp on, and I'm going to emboss. So what I'm going to do is use the gold embossing powder. When you purchase the metallics, you get the gold, copper, and silver, and I have the stamp set, the powder. I'm going to use Versamark. When you emboss, your ink has to stay wet long enough for the powder to adhere to it. Versamark is a good choice to do that. And then also when I sprinkle the embossing powder over the cardstock to adhere, if there's any static on my card, the little powders are going to stick to that. So I have purchased Stampin' Up's additional embossing additional tools. With that, you get the tray, an embossing buddy, which I'm going to use, a little brush, which you can use to brush off any excess flakes on your project, and this great little pliers. When you squeeze it, it opens up. Then you can clip down. So if you're stamping on a small piece of cardstock and going to emboss, you can keep your fingers away, because how you melt those powders are with a heat emboss tool. And I've got mine set up already to be using that. So I don't think I need the pliers or the brush. And because I'm only going to do one project, I'm not going to use the tray. If I was going to do multiple projects, I would use the tray. That's where you get your powder excess in. Then you can unscrew this part and just get it all back into your powder or into your bottle. But I think I'm just going to take a piece of scratch paper, fold it in half, get a valley already in it. I'll put my powder over here and then be able to get it back into the jar. All right, so the first thing I want to do is get the static off of my cardstock. So I'm going to just take and kind of pounce it to get that powder out and just go across this bottom part where I'm going to stamp. It's hard to see the powder because I have white cardstock, but if I did that on a colored cardstock, it would be a little more visible on that. So now what I'm going to do is ink up my stamp, and I put it on a larger block than I needed to because I want to see the top, the bottom, and the sides of the area I'm going to stamp. So by putting it on a larger stamp, the edge of the stamp isn't hindering my view. Now what I'm going to do is look at the two Y's and make sure they're equal on the bottom of the cardstock, or along equal, and then look at the sides and then look at the top. Now I'm making contact. I'm letting that ink absorb into the paper. Versamark is a sticky ink pad. You're going to hear it as you pull it away. It's sticky on the stamp. And I'm now going to take and sprinkle my powder right over that stamped image. I just be generous with this. And I think I need to go a little bit higher to get some of those letters. Tap off the excess, and there it adhered just to the ink. And can you see that? So it's sitting, those little embossing pieces are sitting right there on the wet ink. Now you have time. It's not going to go anywhere unless you drop something on it or drop it on the floor. You're good because it's going to just sit there until you heat it and have it melt. So that's how I get that back into my bottle if I'm just going to do one project. So now we need the heat source. So what I'm going to do is turn this on, and I'm just going to move it a little bit away from my phone so you don't hear it as it heats up. My suggestion is to get it nice and hot before you start melting the powders. If you hold your cold heat tool over your project, then it might start warping your cardstock. But just be careful where you're pointing it. Get it nice and hot, and I'm going to heat it from underneath so you can see hopefully those powders starting to melt. There we go. I can see it. I'm not sure if it shows up on the camera for you. Hopefully it does. What you want to do is just keep moving it along. I've got about a 1/2 inch spacing. I had it about a 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch away from the paper, and you just when it's melting and bonding like that, just keep moving it. You can hold it too long that it starts to scorch it a little bit. So that is just the basics of embossing. Now it's going to look really pretty with that embossed or the gold foil and the designer series paper. You do need to give it a tad bit time to dry. So while it's drying, I'm going to start assembling. So what I'm going to do is put my adhesive on the back of the designer series paper, and I'm going to look at opposite corners. And if I look at opposite corners, I can see both sides of each corner. That visually gives me a view of all 4 sides, and then I can get that. So I just have a 1/16 of an inch of a border along there. Now this is going to go onto this piece. So what I'm going to do, because it's the very same size, is I'm going to bring in my Simply Scoring tool. The reason I'm going to bring that in is I like using that wall to help me with alignment. So what I'm going to do is put my adhesive, I'll put my adhesive on the back of this. They're both going to be the same size, so you could put it on the back on this or the back of this. So let me visually show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to attach it just to this whole surface. So I want it oriented this way. So I'm going to rotate both of them this way, push this up to this wall and up to this wall so it's in the corner. Then I'm going to take this and put it up against that wall but above the cardstock, and then put it up against the other wall. So I'm pushing it up into that wall. Then I can have it go down and adhere. And if both are cut the same, then it aligns perfectly. And then when you close it, you have that design that I've gold embossed. Now, you could just have created the measurement so it's on the white, but when you add it to a color, it just all pops out. So now I'm going to adhere this to the postcard. I'm going to look at opposite corners. It's going to be harder to view because it separates here. So what I'm going to do is just view these 3 edges. And if I cut everything equal, if I view the bottom and those 2 sides are about the same, and maybe I'm going to just do my best to get that all aligned. There we go. So now we have a little bit of colored border. Now for the ribbon, it's going to go around this flap here. But if I just tie it, it's going to slide down. So I'm going to show you a really easy tip on how to do that. I'm going to punch a hole right here. So I have a hole punch, and I'm going to punch a hole right here. Any hole punch you have will work. So I have the hole punched like that. I'm going to take my ribbon. I'm going to start from the front. I think it's easier if I just start from the front, pull it down until I have about 3 inches, and then I'm going to hold that down with one hand. I'm going to take this ribbon, wrap it all the way around, and I'm going to make sure it doesn't twist. Let's get that all straightened up first. all the way around and then back into the same hole that it came out of. So one full rotation, go back in, make sure it's not twisted on the back, not twisted on the front. Your goal is to have one tail coming to the top of this ribbon that goes around, one on the bottom. Then what I'm going to do is take the one on the top, and the one on the bottom is going to head to the left. Take the one on the top, go over that one, the tail that's heading to the left, go underneath and have that one head to the right. And then I move my tails down to the cardstock, and typically, and it didn't happen this time, it rotates, or it did from the opposite direction. It still achieved that. The knot slides to the bottom. And now that ribbon is attached because it went through the hole. It's not going to slide off. And my intent was just enough for a little knot. You can make your ribbon longer and tie a bow, but I just wanted to add a little bit to that. And this is the fun fold. I will have these measurements in a PDF that you can download with a photo of this card, including all the supplies that I used. If you click on the link on the supplies, it'll get you to the online store to learn more details about the product. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and take care and happy creating.